like almost everybody in this business, I started off as a rider. I had a AMA Pro license in the late 70s, which is sort of embarrassing to say now. Most of the guys riding today weren't even born then. But I was a decent local rider, but I was never going to make a living as a pro. But I loved it. I wanted to do something with the sport. I got a job at Pace, which is the forerunner of today's Live Nation. And then, somewhere along the line, then in those days, we used a bunch of different track builders. John Savitsky's probably the most well-known. He was a rider and had a good feel for what the tracks were supposed to look like. But there were several others at the time that had no idea what a motocross track was supposed to look like. And so we started to see a niche. That if a guy could offer some consistency in what the tracks look like and what they cost the organizer and safety and things like that, that we thought we could make a business, and started Dirtworks in 1990, I think, and was certainly not a smash success at first. I mean, we dug swimming pools and things in the summertime, but we've been fortunate over the years that we've gotten a bigger and bigger piece of the pie, and now I think we've got a long-term contract with the current Supercross promoters, and things are looking really well. We put together designs what we think are going to be good, and it kind of has to be a brainstorming session between me and some of my guys, and then I actually do the drawings. But it's very difficult. It's easy to get complaints, of things that the people don't like on the track. But during the summer when the riders are tied up with the nationals and things, at the time that we need to do the drawings, it's really hard to get any input, as far as things they do like or things they think they'd like to see in years to come. So we kind of just got to go with our best judgment for that. But after that, we turned the tracks into Todd Gendro and Dave Prater at Live Nation, and also to Steve Whitelock at the AMA, and they distribute them further to the teams, and everybody has a chance to critique or put in their 2 cents worth. And there's some changes made, I guess, between the summer and between when we actually build them in the new season. When you store the dirt from year to year, you're fairly happy with what you've got, I hope. It's not like you're having to go look for it new every year and fight the weather and such. So anywhere we can, this is a perfect example. Because the stadium is not exactly downtown in the metropolitan area, we try to get permission from the stadium to use a back corner of the parking lot or a hillside somewhere and berm this dirt up and use it from year to year. The normal deal would be starting on the Tuesday morning, finishing up more or less Thursday evening, and then kind of final touches on Friday. But there's in some cases where there's natural grass or where there's some other reason for that plywood protection. Obviously, the thing's got to be accelerated. The grass won't stay alive from Tuesday morning, so we move in ahead till Wednesday evening after the sun comes off the grass, and then it's got to be very fast. Either way, Friday afternoon the thing's got to be finished. There's really no time on Saturday morning for any further work. I'm 49 years old, so obviously, I've got a prejudice towards the 2-strokes. I grew up with the 2-strokes, and I really believe that at Supercross, the 250 2-stroke was a perfect combination of power and weight. I think, certainly there's some problems associated with the big bike. I think the 250 4-stroke to me is a good race, every bit as good as the 125s were. But the big bikes, I think, they're just a bit much for the Supercross style track. The things they do well, acceleration and carrying speed, don't necessarily translate into what you need at a Supercross. At a Supercross, you need rhythm, and the one thing the big 4-stroke does poorly is pinpoint, land in between obstacles and such, the kind of rhythmic Jeremy McGrath style riding that we become used to in the 2-stroke era. So obviously for a track builder, it's a learning experience, and I think even for the racing industry, that the AMA or even all the teams agree that where we're at right now, either on the track design or the motorcycles, is where we need to be. I think there's going to be some flux over the next 4 or 5 years.